Professor Huang, let me come to you first. So Lai Ching-te has described himself as previously as a pragmatic worker for Taiwan independence. In the same sentence, he said that Taiwan is already independent and there is no need to declare independence formally. In the speech that we heard this morning, was there anything new?
As Republic of China's 16th president, I think William Lai has said something repeatedly as what Tsai Ing-wen has said in the past 8 years in order to ensure the US and the rest of the world that his policy will not be provocative. Also, I think if we would like to talk about something new, then I think some terms he used in his speech would be a little bit different from Tsai Ing-wen's past speech. Especially those politically sensitive terms. Okay. So whether or not that would trigger some negative response from Beijing, I have no idea.
But could you tell us what they are?
For example, he tried to use China to refer to the Beijing authorities, while Taiwan or the Republic of China, Taiwan here. That's something that I haven't seen in the past 2 inaugurational speeches made by President Tsai Ing-wen. So the response
So Tsai Ing-wen said...
Tsai Ing-wen didn't say China in his inaugurational speeches.
So how did she refer to China?
The other side or Beijing authorities or something like that. Okay, so that's something new. And also he talked about something new. For example, he talked about solidarity with people within Taiwan. And I think that's very important, especially when the pressure from the Beijing authorities increases and when the society in Taiwan has been split into different political parties or political influences. And that's something I think this president and his successors need to pay more attention because Taiwan has been a very divided society, and I do not want to see Taiwan to become a divided country.
Okay, 2 points, Vincent. Number one, the term that Lai used, is it different to what Tsai Ing-wen or the DPP uses to refer to China? And secondly, the issue of solidarity.
Well, the first part is easy. It's emphatically no. In fact, since 2016, the government has used China to refer to the PRC. I mean, it's part of colloquial usage. It's also part of international, I think, recognition. But more importantly, I think it signifies the fact that we understand that when most of the international community refers to China, they refer to the PRC, not Taiwan or the ROC. And so I think, if we look at past historical speeches, including by President Tsai, that's amply reflected there. So I would argue against this notion that this is something brand new. But I mean, as a whole, what we can see for the inauguration speech itself is it's pretty much on mark. It's on mark with what he's been saying since the campaign, with what he said during his election night victory speech on January 13th. It's also on mark with what we've seen in terms of a continuation of President Tsai's steady cross-strait policies over the past 8 years. I mean, he mentioned a couple of things. He mentioned, first one, that he will maintain the cross-strait status quo. He mentioned 不卑不亢, which is that we will continue to resist any sorts of pressure from the other side. He said that we will continue to seek dialogue over confrontation. And finally, I think what was important, I think, to many observers is he mentioned repeatedly the Republic of China, including the ROC Constitution. So I think taken all together, what we're going to see, not only in the immediate aftermath of this inauguration, but certainly in the next 4 to 8 years, is that we will have, at least on Taipei's part, a steady, pragmatic, and no surprise-based cross-strait approach, which I think is not only in line with Taiwanese public opinion, but also international communities, I think, desire as well. And I don't think, something he said struck with me, and I don't think anybody wants to see war, and there are no winners in war. And so Taiwan's going to do everything in our power to ensure that conflict does not take place. But it takes two to tango. And so, like you said in his speech, the other side, China, needs to also recognize that we do have a desire to sit down and talk. And we hope that they choose to do so.
Amanda, was there anything new in there, either from, past DPP stances or from Lai himself?
So I think on the whole, the framing that Lai uses attempts to message this show of continuity from Lai's policies. But I think the trick might be in some of the details. So There's one notable difference in his speech from both his own position on the night of the elections and from the way that Tsai has tended to describe the cross-strait policy, both in her inaugural addresses in 2016 and also 2020. Lai talks about the importance of acting in accordance with the Republic of China Constitution, but he, unlike President Tsai, did not link it to cross-strait relations in this speech. So President Tsai's position has been cross-strait relations should be conducted in accordance with our constitution. And the significance of this is essentially that within Taiwan's own constitution, there remain elements in that constitution that can be used to suggest that there is this notion of one China, right? There's references to mainland territories within this constitution. And so it served as this sort of conveniently ambiguous framework that could be used as a gesture to Beijing without the government here in Taiwan explicitly confirming or affirming this idea of one China. It's been this ambiguous framework, and Lai, I think, here did not make that link today.